Okay, so we're going to work on inequalities. Now, inequalities are expressions that use the greater than or less than sign, not just equations that use an equal sign. And usually we've used them just to compare two numbers. Say like one number is greater than or less than another. But now we're going to look at how to solve problems using those. So in the first problem I have, it says, I am writing a book. I write 4 pages each day. How many days must I write in order to have written more than 48 pages? Okay, so I'm going to expose a little bit. Now I have 4x because what I need to figure out is how many days. So that's going to be my x right here. And I know that I write 4 pages each day, so I know I'm going to have to multiply. Okay, it's 4 times each day. Okay, so if I wrote 1 for 1 day, that'd be 4 pages, 4 times 1. After 2 days, that'd be 4 times 2, that would be 8 pages, okay? And I have to have written more than 48 pages. So I have my greater than sign, because this number right here, when I multiply how many days I write by the 4 pages each day, it needs to be more than 48. So 4x is greater than 48. Now, just like an equation, I'm going to try to get the x by itself on one side. Okay, so as you see, I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide because I'm doing the inverse operation. I'm going to divide by 4 because I want to get the x by itself. So I'm going to divide 4x by 4 and 48 by 4. Now I want to show you something right down here. Oops. I need to keep that sign the same. It's still a greater than sign. Sometimes people want to change that to an equal sign and say x equals 12. It doesn't. Okay, this sign needs to stay the same. X is still greater than 12 because 48 divided by 4 is 12. Now, when you get older, you'll learn that there are certain times we have to flip this sign around. But for right now, we don't need to do that when we're only working with positive numbers. So x is greater than 12. So I have to write for more than 12 days in order to have more than 48 pages written. I can't write for 12 days and then some more. It has to be more than 12 days. Okay. So now I'm going to show you another kind of problem, a little more difficult, but still using the same inverse operations that we've used in the past. Now this says I was going to buy some books on the internet. Each book costs $6. The shipping for the order costs $10. I have $58. How many books can I buy? Okay. So no matter how many books I buy, I'm going to have to pay an extra $10 for them to mail or ship the books to me. So, what I'm first going to do though, let me bring this up a little. Each book costs $6, and I don't know how many books I can buy. So I'm going to multiply the $6 each book costs by the amount of books I have, or that I'm going to buy. Okay? So if I'm going to buy 5 books, that's 6 times 5 books, that's $30, okay? But I can't just do that. I have to add this 10 right here because that is $10 for the cost of shipping. And I have $58 to spend. Now, you notice I have a different sign right here. That means it's less than or equal to 58. Okay? Because I can spend less than $58. Okay? I can. But I can't spend more than $58. And I can spend exactly $58. So this symbol right here means the amount of books I buy, okay, has to be less, the amount of money I spend over here has to be less than or equal to $58. If I go to the store with $2 and I want to buy some snacks, I can spend $1.50, $1.75, $2, but I can't spend more than $2. So we're going to try to get this x by itself. So we need to do the inverse operation. The first thing, we need to subtract this 10 from both sides. Okay? subtracting it from both sides to get this x by itself. So what I'm left with, like I showed you before, I have to keep this sign the same. Okay? So I have 6x equals 48. Well, now, like I did in the problem before, I need to divide by 6 to get that x by itself. And when I do that, x is less than or equal to 8. So I can buy up to 8 books. I can buy 8 books or any amount of books less than $8, or sorry, less than 8 books with my $58 and still have enough money. I can't buy more. Once I buy more than $8, I no longer have enough money. So if you see it saying something along the lines of, I have at least, or I have this much or more, you're going to use the equal, the greater than or equal to sign. Have the little line under here. Okay, if it just says more than or less than, you know you're going to have to use the greater than or less than without this line right here. You're going to have to use this sign right here, okay, without the line underneath it. That's the hardest part, figuring out whether it can equal that amount or if it can't equal that amount. In the first one, since it says I have to have written more than 48, I can't have that little line underneath it because it can't equal 48. It has to be more than 48. But in this problem, when I'm trying to figure out how much money I can spend, well, I can. Because I can spend up to the amount of money I have. So I can spend that $58 or any amount less. Okay? And once we get our inequality set up, we can solve it just like an equation using our inverse operation in order to get that variable by itself.